Hey everybody, how is everybody doing? So, first of all, woo, today has been one of those days, guys. It's been one of those days. I was up this morning, 7 o'clock, getting myself ready for work, and I feel like it's been non-stop since I walked in, which is a great thing. But I feel like, whew, I needed a breather. So I'm so glad I'm on here with y'all right now because this is my restoring of my soul moment. So I'm happy that you guys are hey, happy that you guys are hanging with me at 5 o'clock. Um, and it is what it is. We do what we do on Live at 5. And when I say it is what it is, this is probably one of the most inspirational, inspiring times of my day. Other than getting up in the morning and seeing my children, um, thanking God for just being alive. I love hanging out with y'all and on Live at 5. So I'm trying to wait for my computer to come up. I don't know what's going on. So I can see who's on, who's saying hello and hi. So y'all, yesterday was something else. Yesterday was wonderful. Live at 5 yesterday. We coined it Wisdom Wednesday. Thank you to Jen. But it was really good. Dr. Will came on and gave us some really good stuff. I hope and I pray that you all utilize all of the tools that we give on Live at 5, particularly on Takeaway Tuesdays, when Dr. Will is on, because he really, for me, Dr. Will, he marries the practical, holistic, clinical with the spiritual. He does that and he does it very well. And so it is wonderful to me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get this. I don't know why this does this all the time. It's wonderful to me when he's on. And so I'm grateful that we have that. I try my best to give you guys the practical, the holistic, the spiritual when I do, every other day but Tuesday. But when he brings that clinical aspect, that knowledge of a doctor, because that's what he is, and it's always exciting. So thank you guys for again your support, your love, your consistency, your commitment to Live at 5. So let me see if I can't see you guys. Let me see if I can't see who's on. Hopefully it'll come. Okay. So today, with that being said, yesterday we actually were concluding our commitment series. We were concluding our commitment series, and Dr. Will came on and he's given us some good stuff, some good meat, and so here we go. I'm gonna be able to see y'all. My hair is a mess, y'all. I can't wait to get my hair braided because I'm about tired. He gave us some good meat. He gave us the Rust Bolt model of interdependence theory, Hi, Daddy. That's my daddy. And so yesterday was really good. We had some meat yesterday. As it pertains to commitment. And three things. We talked about satisfaction, alternative, and investment. Listen, if you weren't on with us yesterday, you want to go and listen to yesterday's Live at 5. Absolutely wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. It was something that, I know Tuesdays are our takeaways, but yesterday you could take away a lot of things. It was a lot of wisdom yesterday. Really, really, really good stuff yesterday. So in that, I gotta turn this down. In that, um, I wanted to, I wanted to. So yesterday we finished that series, but I wanted to give this little tidbit because um, I was listening. Every morning I'm listening to one of three one of three people. Either I'm listening to my dad, Apostle Gilbert Coleman, either from Kingdom Mandate stuff, or when he's preached, I'll go back and listen to things, or I'll listen to Bishop T.D. Jakes, or I'll listen to Pastor Cheryl Brady, and sometimes Dr. Cindy Trent too. So four people that I'll normally listen to in the morning, after I've had my prayer and getting myself ready, and then getting in the car and driving to work. So those four people I'm normally listening to. And this morning I was listening to Bishop T.D. Jakes, and I got to tell y'all, he said one thing that stood out to me, so much so that I turned it off, and my mind was just thinking. I couldn't drive. I could not write while I was driving. So it was just, the thoughts that was going on in my mind. And when I got to work, I wrote down something that he said, which tied in with yesterday. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry about that, guys, on Instagram. It's restarting. It's reconnecting. I'm sorry. I don't know. Our internet has been crazy in here the last 3 days. Hey, Vera. Hey, Jen. I'm not sure who else is on. I said hi to my daddy. Hey, Natasha. Hey, Sabrina. Hey, everybody that's coming on. Yeah, it was restarting. I'm not sure what was going on. But he said something this morning, that we was talking about yesterday. So we talked about satisfaction, alternative, and investment. And, when you're talking about making an investment, an investment is also something that I think at times we kind of get away from. We get away from making investments, because it means I can't give part of myself, but I got to give all of myself. Because yesterday, remember, we were talking about relationships. And so as it pertains to investment, so in a relationship, we make, again, an investment. But there will be times when frustration will come in our relationships, right? Frustration comes, and frustration at times will cause people to go, what we talked about yesterday, back to the alternative. Okay? We talked about that yesterday. You gotta go and listen to yesterday, because this is probably part two to the conclusion of yesterday. But you go to the alternative, and we know what the alternative is. If you don't do, in relationship, if you don't do what I need you to do, or what I want you to do, if you don't satisfy me, I'll go and find it somewhere else, right? When you have made an investment and frustration comes, frustration is just the sign that you made an investment. So we don't want to go back to the alternative. What we want to do is to keep building in this investment. We want to keep building. I meant to print out, I pulled up what investment was. Hey, Stefani. Hi, sweetheart. I hope that you are doing well. Right, this live at 10 for you. It's live at 10. I hope that you are doing well. Miss you so very much. Hope that you are doing well. Hey, Naima. Hey, Kevin. How are you? So, frustration is a sign of investment. But what we want to do is, when you make an investment, You don't just all of a sudden, when something goes wrong in your portfolio, just totally, throw it out or throw it away. No, you figure out what it is that you need to do. Remember when we talked last week, when we were talking about making sure that we gather information, and then in our gathering of information, you're analyzing the information so that you can make the right decision, because we were talking about making good decisions, right? So that you gather this information. So in my investment, I just don't throw it away when there's a hiccup. What I must do is gather more information. So frustration also says that I need to get some help, right? So I get the help. I'm looking for, searching for the help. I'm gathering this information. Now that I have this information, I'm bringing this information to the table, right? When I'm bringing this information to the table, now it's, okay, let me analyze and let me do this. Now, because I have this information, now I've got to apply the information. When you are not invested in anything, when you're not invested in anything, it's easy for you to throw it away. Case in point, I want to say Genesis 17, Sarah and Abraham. I want to say Genesis 17. Daddy, correct me if I'm wrong. Sarah, when it came to the bondwoman, it was easy for her to tell Abraham, put her away. She didn't have an investment in the relationship, but Abraham did. They had a son. That was an investment. It was easy for her to do that. And y'all know, not y'all, but we know people. I'm going to talk about women. Y'all know how it is. Well, forget this woman. And it's funny because the way Bishop T.D. Jakes was breaking this thing down, I was cracking up. But when I turned it off, God was just like, no, you understand. You've been there. You've done that. It's not easy when you've invested in something to throw it away so quickly. It's not easy. But again, when you've invested in something, there ought to be this level of dedication to making sure that this investment, what you've invested in, to making sure that it's going to play out the way God wants it to play out. The way God wants it to play out. Not the way we want it to play out. Because had it been the way Sarah wanted it to play out, right? It would have been throw her away. She's gone. Now it's about us, our life. Forget her. Forget the son. I'm just saying. We both tuned in. Hey! You both tuned in tonight. Hello. I'm so glad that both of you guys are with me tonight. I love y'all. I do. I love y'all. But honestly, Sarah would have been like, yo, kick her to the curb. How can you fix a relationship if you've invested, but they no longer want a relationship? And my dad is on. So Dad, if you want to comment on the question, sometimes, Stefani, honestly, sometimes, and I understand this aspect of it. Sometimes when you've made an investment, and you know how you are, you know how you do. When you give your all, you give your all, right? Other people are not always as invested. And so if you have made an investment and you want, because you asked, how can you fix a relationship that you've invested in, but they no longer want the relationship? You can't make anybody You can't make anybody want that relationship. Okay, I will. You can't make, Steph, anybody want that relationship. What you can do, see, here's the thing. This is the other piece for me. Sometimes y'all, you've heard that saying, I can show you better than I can tell you. Sometimes you got to show a person the investment that you've made. And sometimes you got to let go, and be like, listen, I love you. I care about you. I want to fix this. But you can't force anybody. You can't force anybody that no longer wants the relationship. Sometimes you ever heard that if you let something go, it'll come back to you if it was meant for you? Sometimes you got to let it go. If you've done all that you can, I can't heal from a broken relationship in my life. I can't heal from a broken relationship in my life hurting. Listen, let me say this. You can heal from a broken relationship. We talked about this yesterday. It's really got to be about now. Your healing process has got to be about you doing your work. This is the one thing that I say to people, and I say it because I've been there. Hey, Steph, my other Steph, my bestie Steph. I say this to people all the time. This is one of the reasons why I'm not in a relationship right now. I have great friends around me. The Lord is always adding. Even though Gigi has been around, but Gigi wasn't Keisha and Stephanie Starks, which are the two as closest, my best friends. Gigi, God added Gigi to my life, and I want to cry, Lord Jesus. And I'm telling you, she brings another aspect of this group, this family that God has placed in my life, that it does phenomenal things for me, as a mother, because she's a single mom as well, and I'm able to talk to her. But saying all that to say, one of the things that I thank God for is that the Lord puts people in your life that will not allow you to continue to hurt. Dr. Will, you are on. Dr. Will, we got some questions, so feel free to, add to. You have to have people in your life that won't allow you to hurt. They won't allow you to sit in that place of that broken relationship. They won't allow you to sit there and hurt. That this is what they tell you, and I'm telling you what I was told, that you got to get up from here. This is about now you doing your work. Well, what work do I need to do? Now it's about working on yourself. And when I was talking about, this is one of the reasons why I'm not in a relationship right now, is because anybody that I would be in a relationship, they would get dogged out and hurt. I'm talking about in an intimate relationship. They would get dogged out because I would question everything that they do. I would question if they was genuine. I would question if they're real, or do you really love me? Do you really care? Because I've been hurt. And so I would do that. So God didn't allow me to be in a relationship. I'm almost there where I can be now. But he didn't allow me to be in a relationship because there was some healing that had to take place in me. And Steph, you gotta be in a place where you are embracing the healing, which means there will be times when you, and I'm telling you what I've done, there will be times when you are sitting in that bathtub and you are just thinking about all the things, and then there are things that sitting in the bathtub relaxing, you might have your glass of wine or whatever, And there would be things that come across your mind that you should have done in a relationship. What could I have done better? And there are times when you got to stop yourself and say, wait a minute. Yes, there are some things that I could have done better, but I am not going to keep myself hostage to that relationship, to that hurt. Now I've got to move forward. And as much as I know that it is hard, trust me, it took me a long time to get to where I am now. I've been divorced now for 5 years. It took me a minute. It took me a minute. I was hurting. Why? Because I had invested in my relationship. So it wasn't easy for me. It wasn't so easy for me to just throw it away because I had invested time. I had put time in. I saw the future. I was satisfied with what I saw us being, where we were growing to. There was no alternatives for me. There was no alternatives. It was an investment. And it was an investment that I wanted to make good on, if that makes any sense. It was an investment that I was ready to make good on. I was ready to see what was next. But when the hurt came, I had to say to, first and foremost, I had to say to myself, Dana, forgive you for whatever it is that you did not do. Whatever it is that you did not do, that you thought you should have done better, forgive yourself. I don't know your God, but I am trying to understand. Thank you all so much for sharing these things. Wait a minute. Right. Let me just say this to you, Steph. My wife wants me to make it clear, that I'm not talking. Yes, and you know what? Without even knowing the situation, I didn't think that you were talking about her at all. I want to say this to you, and I do. I understand that you know, as it pertains to God, but I want you to know that you may not know the God that we know, but can I tell you something? He knows you. And the healing that you need can still take place. It still can take place in you. It still can take place. That's why you have people such as myself, and I'm going to say Dr. Will, whom you are familiar with and you know, who are always thinking about you, praying for you, who are connected in a way that, like I said the other day, I said I had not talked to you, hadn't seen you on, but you were on my mind, you were on my heart. And so because of that, I'm always praying. I'm thinking about you. What's going on with you? What's going on with your wife? What's going on in your world? How are things going? I'm always, Steph, thinking about that. And so because of that, I'm not saying that if you don't do this, you'll never get healed. I'm not saying that. What I am saying to you is that a relationship with God is open to you for that healing process to come in a different way. Healing for those at times can be through sitting down and talking to someone. Who are you talking to? Who can speak into your life that can bring about healing and change? You are my... I want to make sure that I'm reading the comments. You are my great pastor. I love you and I'm looking for God. Oh, wow. You about to make me cry. Oh, my prayer is that you do see God in me, and that one day you would want a relationship with him the way that I have a relationship, not how my relationship is, because your relationship with God will be your relationship. But my prayer is that that will happen one day. But until then, I want you to know that that healing process, it doesn't stop. It is continual. And even now, the fact that you and I, the fact that we're talking, the fact that you are asking questions, the fact that you're on here is saying that healing is taking place. Because one of the things that happen, if we keep our mouths shut and we don't ask questions, healing at times won't come because we're not asking. We're not opening up ourselves to receiving an answer. The fact that you are doing that, and that's why I say God knows you and he does love you. You are receiving that. You're receiving healing even now. Even now. You are resilient. You are strong. You can move past that hurt. God will, he will, I just believe, through avenues of being able to talk to people, being able to open up, literally sit down with someone. One of the things that I shared, this was a while back, and you may have heard this, that I had to sit down and speak to a therapist. Sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, your therapist helps you to unpack things. You need somebody to help you kind of unpack certain things. And that's not to say that your spouse cannot help you, because I believe that they can. I believe that she can help you unpack certain things. Sometimes we just have to be open, and we've got to, because again, I believe that you are resilient. I believe that you are strong. And sometimes we got to tap into that resiliency and that strength. And I know that you can see everybody is saying, we got you. We've all been there. Yes, we have all been there. We've all been there. Yes, I'm sure she does. That's the kind of people you need in your life. My best friend on here, she said, what did you say, Stephanie? She said that you need people in your lives who add valuable perspective. She adds value. You're welcome, sweetheart. She adds valuable perspective. She helps you to see things from a different vantage point. And I want you to know something. Believe it or not, it's God that puts those kind of people in your life to love you. They love you so much that they want to see you healed. They want to see you moving forward. They don't want to see you hurt from past relationships. They want to see you whole. So it is vitally important that you continue to receive that. Continue to receive that and continue to be committed to that. Be committed to that. That is an investment. She's making an investment in you. Those people that are around us, and I can say this about Stephanie, I can say this about Keisha, I can say this about Gigi, I can say this about Vera, I can say this about Dr. Will, I can say this about my dad, Apostle Gilbert Coleman. They've made an investment in me. And so they are not going to allow me in my time of hurt, when I was going through my stuff, they wouldn't allow me to just lay in it and wallow in it, and sometimes couldn't even get myself together. They wouldn't allow it. They were around me to speak into my life to say, you're going to be all right. We're here with you. We're walking with you. We're standing up for you. Those are the kind of amazing people like you have in your life that God will continue. You know, it could be a friend on the job. It could be, sometimes, and let me say this, sometimes God will send people by that it may be on the job and they're there for a season just to finish an assignment. And there's a connection there. And you become friends with them. They may speak 3 words that stay with you for the rest of your life. That's part of your healing. So God will do that. And again, he knows you and he loves you. So it is 5:33. I still have to finish some work and then I got to get ready for a meeting. I absolutely love you all. Thank you all so much for being on. Thank you for encouraging my sweetheart, Steph. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. I know. And you know what? I speak this over your life, Steph, that you will begin to understand even the more as the days go by. I speak in your life that you will begin to understand and even know who God is. I speak in your life that as you begin to evolve, as you begin to grow, that there will be this level of understanding that comes. And one day, I'm telling you, and we don't know it all. Trust me, we don't know it all. And there are some things that we don't understand in our lives. Why, God, did this happen? Why did this happen? Why did I have to go through this? Some things we don't, but we will understand it as we grow. And here's the thing, you continue to embrace growth, because we always talk about growth and development, spiritual growth and development, period. We talk about it all the time. As you continue to grow and to develop into this wonderful, awesome person, because even the person that you are today, tomorrow when you wake up, you have a new mindset, a new perspective on life. Even as you are growing, things will become more clearer to you. I know that. So, absolutely, yes. Look at all that love. This is why I love the people that God placed around. Stephanie Starks that's my other best friend that I talk about all the time. I appreciate you all. I really do. Thank you for showing Steph some love, you guys, and speaking what needs to be heard here. Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for your love and your support. Being on live at 5 or live at 10, being on here, this for me is awesome. It's awesome, and I appreciate you. Those who constantly seed into the ministry. Listen, I'm telling you all, I thank you. I don't take it for granted. I really don't. I don't take it for granted. I thank you so much for what you do. Seriously, thank you so much. I will see you guys tomorrow right here with yours truly on live at 5.